Hey everybody, Ben Woods here. Thank you for joining me on another edition of FAQ number 10. That's frequently asked questions and comments on my YouTube channel. So let's get right to it. First comment from John Ravenwolf says, well, he could go into porn with a name alone, so hey.
Good one, buddy.
I know, Mr. Pick. I know. Next one. Oh, Pasquale Guino T. He basically is gonna tell me how much he knows about flamenco and how much I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I gotta tell you, I gotta precursor this answer real quick. This is the one thing I hate about flamenco, and there's so much to like, but some of the people in flamenco, not that they're traditionalists or purists, some of the people are elitists. So they think they know more than everybody, and they think that that makes them better than everybody. And I absolutely disagree. And they're making flamenco, the art form, exclusive, when I think it should be more inclusive, and that it should be there for everybody to enjoy it and do it if they want to, if they learn it. He says, I regret to inform you that without flamenco, there wouldn't be any of these stupid bands like Flametal and anything with silly last names like funk and rock, and the list goes on. Then he goes on to say, they say nothing and have no soul, and that metal is just noise for crazy people with no intellect.
This guy's a douchebag.
I know! Okay, I'm just gonna address that. One thing that you don't know, dude, is that metalheads are probably some of the most discerning and intelligent connoisseurs of music out there. It's a very complex and wide art form that you obviously know nothing about, so you need to shut up and be gone. But then he goes on to say about my Flametal tientos called magnetic propulsion, and finally that falsetta that you ruined is a taranta, not a tientos. And then he just goes on with more ridiculous, stupid shit. So I just need to address this really quick, because this is a tientos, and I wrote that falsetta, so how could I ruin it? I'm gonna be talking in some flamenco jargon here. So a taranta is libre, meaning it is without compás, without rhythm. But my tientos is in rhythm, it's en compás. Also, tientos is 4/4, what we call por medio, in the key of A major Phrygian dominant. But a taranta is, it's a F sharp major Phrygian dominant. So we're in the wrong key. He's got the wrong rhythm. If I was writing that around a taranta, then there would be a contestación, which is would end in D major, but of course it doesn't do that. But anyways, it just goes on, and it just proves his ignorance and pure stupidity. And Mr. Pick, I don't even need you to address this, because the guy has just proven what a dumb shit he is. So, okay, Pasquale El Taranto, as you call yourself. Next one, Alex Cordoba says about the Flametal Faruca, where was this shot at? Beautiful scenery. Well, thank you, Alex. It was shot in a little town called Zujeros, and that's in Spain, in the province of Cordoba. And really cool, tiny little village situated on a hill with a castle on top, and we shot by the castle. And we managed to find the only open bar in the whole village afterwards. It was a great time. Jargon 121 says about my malagueño. Now, malagueña is 100 different techniques. Ben Woods is only using 10 of them. Well, another elitist, as I was telling you before, thinks he knows everything. I know! Mr. Pick, what do you say?
Total douche.
Well, let me just tell you this. There's not 100 techniques. I have a video series describing all the techniques and how to play them, and I'll put it in the description below. And I found about 7 techniques. Now, in Sabika's version of the malagueña, which is where I got most of the material for this, he does a couple of things that I don't do. He does a 5-stroke tremolo, which sounds like this. 5 strokes. Mine, I was using classical tremolo, which is 4 strokes. Got it? And then there's a part that goes, and Sabikis was using, I can't even do it, artificial harmonics. You know, they're really cool, but they don't sound very loud on a flamenco guitar. And so I just replaced it with rasgueados. So, okay, those are 2 techniques I'm not using, but dude, you suck, okay? Just get out of here. All right, Adam Spurch says, what's the thing that you're tapping with your foot on my Chanela video from the West Texas Guitar Festival? And I'll tell you, a lot of times in concert, I like to use foot pedal, not to give me an effect, but to give me a kick drum sound. And the one in there I was using is called a Horse Kick by Ortega. And this particular one has a bassy cajon sound, but they also have another one that's a Pro that has 5 different sounds on it. And they have another one that's analog, that's totally passive and pretty much sounds like your foot on a wooden box. But they're pretty cool. I like to use it when I'm playing solo. If I'm doing songs in rhythm, it just kind of drives the song forward and keeps people's feet tapping, I would hope. So that's what I used. Carlos Vel says, why don't you create an online course to teach us? Well, that's a good question, Carlos. But if you mean guitar, there's a lot of online guitar courses, and they're expansive and they're great. If you mean flamenco guitar courses, there's a few, and they're also great. I don't really have the time or patience to do all of that. I'm concentrating on doing more artistic videos and YouTube videos like this for you guys and stuff. But maybe one day I'll create an online course. But until then, there's a couple I'm going to put down in the description that I highly recommend. My friend Thomas Fison has courses at kingofthestrings.com. And my other friend Kai Narezo has flamenco guitar courses at flamencoexplained.com. Both are very in-depth and really good. So let's go to the next one. Abacus Gamer says, hey Ben, was wondering if you could show me some direction to a good song that will hopefully tell the woman I love how I feel. I'm sad all the time without her. Dude, I'm a terrible, you don't want to ask me for love advice, okay? But as far as playing a song for a girl that you love to tell her how you feel, first, you might want to just tell her how you feel. Second, instead of going on a recommendation from me or anyone else, you might want to consider asking her what some of her favorite songs are, and then try and arrange that for solo guitar, and you can play or even sing that to her. Anyways, like I said, I wouldn't follow my advice on love advice, but that's the best I got. Okay, John Oceanic says, awesome. How did you record the Flametal-One? The Flametal-One is the acoustic Ortega guitar that I have, and this is the Flametal-One. It's my signature guitar model by Ortega Guitars. I actually have 4 signature models, but this is one of my favorites, and they laser engraved some of my artwork. But he wants to know, how did I record it? Well, I'll tell you. We have 2 outputs here, but I went with the 1/4 inch output, and I just used a regular guitar cable, and I went into this. This is an Apogee Jam, and all it does is you put your 1/4 inch in here, and the other side it comes out to a USB. That USB went right into my laptop, and right into, I believe I was using Logic for this video skating, but I use a MacBook Air, and they come with GarageBand.
Dude, don't get your boogers on me.
Mr.Pick, get out of here. It has an onboard preamp, and how I set it is I put the volume at about 1 o'clock, and I put the bass at 3, and then middle and treble at 12 o'clock. And then there's a mic and piezo pickup blender. Mic's in here, piezo's under there. And when I'm recording, I like to use about 75% mic and 25% piezo. And that's how I do it. That's how I get the sound. Next one is Arden Ciccarello. On your next FAQ, could you talk about how you started a relationship with Cordoba guitars? Thanks. Okay, well, it's It's kind of a long story, but I'll give you the short end of it. About 12 years ago, I snuck into the NAMM show in Anaheim, California with a buddy's badge pass. You can't sneak in anymore, but somehow I got in. And I went to the Cordoba guitar booth, which was actually called Tornavos guitars at the time. And my friends were playing. After they played, I picked up a guitar, sat down and started messing around with it. And lo and behold, I drew a little crowd. So I started playing some flashy shit and got a big crowd going. And after a few minutes of that, the guys that work there talked to me about having an endorsement deal. So that's how I did it. Good luck. Kamarul Salufyazan says, well, yes, he just wants me to play gypsy jazz, doesn't he? He's pretty much saying, well, you've done this, now play gypsy jazz, go for it. And gypsy jazz is very hard. I love it, I really do, but my heart's not in it. Okay, next one. Julian Vegich says, about the Jeff Loomis and Ben Woods acoustic jam. He says, make a collab album right now. Well, god damn it, I would love to. Jeff Loomis is one of the coolest guys I've ever met, and possibly one of the greatest heavy metal guitar players on the scene today. He's just amazing. And I would love to make a collaboration album with him, but he's a very busy guy. He's an arch enemy, he's always making guests on other people's albums. I could see us doing a collaboration of some kind, maybe a video, maybe a song or two, but album, it's gonna take some work. Plus, he lives in Seattle, I live in Long Beach. We both do visit each other's cities quite often, but it may happen in one way or the other. Thanks for the suggestion, as if I wasn't thinking about it every single day. El Gadote Schrodinger says, please come to Madrid. Well, I did do a show in 2017 in Madrid. I was the second guitar player in the Steve Stevens band, which, you know, no big deal. Got to play with Steve Stevens. It was probably the coolest thing ever. So thanks, Steve, for taking me out, bro. I just had a blast. So hopefully something like that will happen again. And try not to pick your nose. I feel like I got a booger in there. I'm just gonna leave it until the video's done. Next question from Hamad 1979 says, thanks for the video. Do you do warm-ups every time you play your guitar? That's a good question. I don't do it every time I play my guitar. However, if I'm playing a concert or in front of a lot of people, I will warm up backstage. I try and warm up for at least 10 minutes really to get my hands warm, and the best warm-up for me is to do songs instead of exercises, but songs that have a lot of tremolo in them, because it's just, it warms up every finger, except for maybe the pinky, but it's always there for me for some reason. But anyways, a little bit of stretching, okay, and I try not to play too hard, and I try not to kill myself a little bit. I'm very lucky that I don't get any injuries or something, but that could be due to the advancements in the guitars that I play. Like these Ortega guitars have, you know, thinner nuts and nice necks, and they're better ergonomics for both arms. And my nylocasters are, of course, a lot more ergonomic and use modern technology and contour and design, so they're easier to play. You know what I mean? So there you go. Oh, that's the last question. All right. Well, I want to thank Mr.Pick. You were no help at all.
You did.
Be gone. And I want to thank you guys for watching another Fact Q. Let me know anything down in the comments there, and I'll talk to you soon.
Subscribe.